when the orders come, it's giving orders, but where do they go? How
Oh,
is
yeah.
it? How does it choose the individual orders? So if it's a one order for
What I
something,
want
how does
about,
it choose it if it's
realistically,
individual or collective?
realistically
What's
speaking, yeah,
reality?
no airy fairiness about this,
And go under and why?
is the fact that
How can conviction
my
judgment,
book cover
why
wasn't,
consciousness
I didn't
allows
receive a penny from it, and
evil?
I'm owed some money from someone.
Consciousness
Now,
and
this is quite beautiful because it
what
transcends
realities evil is allowed and why?
all
How
that.
is it
It
expression
does,
of
because
evil?
it happened years and years ago.
How long?
So it transcends everything that I've been on about, all the people that I caught out as well, as in like heavy-duty mind programmers that think they're fucking special because they're doing a few levels as such in dark psychology, yeah? And this nugget, I have to rub it in your faces again, because you don't understand, you people. Those who were so committedly ignorant to me, do you understand yet? Everyone else didn't have a clue, thought I was just being weird. You probably understand more than the ones who committed themselves not to understand, because this book has entitled me, yeah, me, to some compensation, and that's solid fact, absolute solid fact. Printed quite a lot. Danielle Steele, check her out, check her creds. It's not your run-of-the-mill shitty author. She's up there with the gods of authors, yeah? And there's no denying that factor. I know that people out there would love to deny this fact, and they get scared. This is what scares the fucking the original people who are caught out. Is that because they aimed to try and keep me from earning anything. Honestly, as paranoid as it may sound or seem, but they definitely did, and I caught them out doing that anyway. But that was it's brilliant how it unfolded, because I didn't know about it. So my intuition told me to go look on Amazon, and on the back there it says my name. I don't think audio books, and they stole it off me. I said they, because I don't know if it was Danielle Steele really knew what she was doing when she commissioned that, but I didn't get any money from it. So, and that's where it goes. It has literally boiled down to this time, because people are being so helpful, you know, with people understanding about what a person goes through, in order to get some information across to a wider audience. And because people are being so grateful, helpful, generous, in me literally spilling my guts out on the A6, something they would not do for years, not even any even a slight appreciation, nothing. So this shows that the only people who look at my films are people who do not want to jeopardize their channel, and handlers. They're the ones who kind of make the comments, I think. They must do. Because I only get comments off a few people. and they know it's past the point of no return, they're well past that, so they can't play any. This is what I noticed in the cycle, in the circle of where the points where I got up to. They knew that they couldn't. There was a change of tone from them, and there's a them, and they have handlers on people. And the great thing about this Daniel Steele book thing is that it was published in 2006, so it transcends time, as in I can go back in time if I want, to that time, almost theoretically, yeah, because that's where my business started, and that should have been the bump, the springboard, to kickstart someone's business, but it wasn't. They kept it from me, and that's true. That's it's no conspiracy, people, no conspiracy, right? So within that time period, I've also found out how sneaky and sly people can be, because I found out quite a lot of other shit, and other people knew that I did do that too. And because of the musings that I did, I was amusement or museful, inspirational, whatever. Some other people actually can't help but show themselves through what they've already published that they knew exactly what I was doing. And if they didn't, they had a pretty damn good guess. And it kind of won't really wash that much. It will get sketchy just because of them, because they just do not want to admit what. So don't worry, it's actually can be said in a few sentences. I'm not going to plant that one just yet, because it's just too easy to do. But in this instance, there's been this marvellous opportunity for me to fully display my trauma and my experience with everything, and finish it off on a nice note, as in I'm not looking for compensation from the people who abused me, because they're too scared and they're too weak to even go near the thought that they did that. But they did, and this ricochets right through, from my closest friends to those nasty people online who originally abused me, of which I caught out, of which my friends didn't like me catching them out because it might have made me look a bit too special. That's literally it. And I guess I did choose my friends not in a particularly great way, as in they were mostly narcissist type people, or a lot of narcissist personality in them, not to work in, even consider. And it wasn't as if I was in it for me though as well. It's for the world, this, and for everyone else, as in your family, and all the money that could be achieved here, if you want to look at it like that. It's true though, this is what these people threw away. A couple of them, they're alright for money, you know what I mean? But I'm talking about big bucks here, not petty fucking cash. Big bucks they just threw away. And because of that fact, because I did so much work in trying to expose these people, yet constantly held back by my closest friends who didn't want me to achieve such, because it pissed them off. Luckily enough, Daniel Steele my guardian angel, one of the best authors in the world, yeah, picked up on this in 2007 before I even got involved with Organite or any of the people. I knew loved it at the time, yeah, I did, but before Tracy, before everything, yeah, I knew the other one. And what can he say to this? No, you're wrong. They love saying that you're wrong, don't they? Now, when it gets multiply printed, because I'm using that as my peg. Do you understand me? I'm using that book as my peg, 2006 or 7 or something. Right? So what pisses off the Scientologists? This is what people around me, they can enjoy me rinsing some of the biggest busts ever. They could and buzz along with me, but no, they didn't want me doing it, so they can't buzz along with me. This is what's like really horrific about it. It's like there's so many funny stories of us rinsing these people, making them really shit their kegs. But in their eyes, it was all fictitious. It was all fiction, but it's not fiction. When it's in hard matter, printed in front of you, yeah. People will have to come to terms with that fact that off that alone, and bear in mind it transcends any time I've experienced with any of these morons, these absolutely weird people around me. It does. I mean, I knew weird people then, but people who just totally disregard, disrespect, invalidate anyone's achievements, no matter what, as default, and they don't think they're doing anything wrong by doing that. This is what's happening, yeah. And because of that factor, as it was brought to people's attention so much, can I consider what was going on? It was special. I think the universe did a good deal of work in order for these people to realise that this was quite a special thing. But no. And that's why the universe got pissed off. Anyway, yeah, it did. Because how can someone disregard something so much when given so much clarification? Absolute confirmation this was happening. And they didn't want to fully engage. It was a bit stressful for them. These are people who I will never know again, because I know them, and that's what's bad. They've shown themselves up. I'll be stupid to even. Of course, I'll speak to them, but well, kept up thoughts of fucking unnecessary shit. And the funny thing about this is that Daniel Seal book, it transcends that time. It goes way back before I met or got involved with Elizabeth VI as well. So it's shameful. I gotta say, it's fucking pretty shameful. And not on my behalf, on their behalf. They're gonna be shamed, and it's not my fault, because they committed themselves to that because it was less stressful, I guess. Don't worry, loads of people are involved with that, being shamed. That's quite a good thing as well, is that the shame will be, it's not pinned down on one person as such, you know, because a lot of people should be shamed by this. Some people don't know what I'm talking about. Good for you. I don't care that you don't, because it's not like that. This is something which was important personally to me, and the only people I had to tell was like people closest to me who could have understood, were in the position fully to understand what I was on about, but they purposefully didn't, and it wrecks a person's head after a while. And if a person's got low emotional empathy or awareness, then they don't care. So they don't realise how much fucking mind shreddery they're putting someone through just by purposefully ignoring or dismissing, purposely getting things wrong when they know that they're talking bullshit, like purposely mixing a story up just for to display their lack of awareness of a story which is true, and it all fucking getting nuts and shafting right up, people getting really narky, causing violence, unnecessary violence, the paint in the garden and shit like that. And just the calculation behind it all, really. The actual attack, as horrific as it was, doesn't really bother me. It was just like all the calculation behind this. It's malicious calculation, and the person who did that knew fully well what was going on through the emails that they sent to the person. Now this does get people into trouble. I keep on saying this, but because it's so troublesome for them, I'm kind of making it easier just by letting them know slowly but surely that this was bad moves all around, bad moves, bad decisions, and to even calculate your bad decision makes it even worse. It shows how much of a person that you are or aren't. And many lines were drawn, boundaries, and they all got breached, all with such lack of knowingness that they were even breached. But too many people out there know, because they've got empathy in them, that if that was them, then they would feel a bit breached too. But because I have dealt with such lack of empathy, people, if they say they got empathy, it's cognitive, pretend empathy. They just don't feel it, they don't know. And it's easy to see. It becomes so hideously obvious. It really does. And it's like that with people who... I thought this would gather some weight on YouTube when I first give it up, right? But I know now. I kind of knew all the time that it's because of how heavy this is. It's not getting spoken of, and it would be a case of my closest friends understanding me, and then going from there. And they didn't. Some of them did, and purposefully knew that it's like borderline on the edge of understandment, generally speaking. I mean, they knew that they could play a part in getting this across to a wider audience, but that would mean that they would have to kind of give in to what I was saying to be true, and they didn't, even though there's a lot of inspiration there. I mean, the Cerberus Future Technologies song names, for starters, definitely makes them question everything, because, like I said, it's as if we were all together on this, and one person can't see it properly, because of the potential. It's all about the potential, and the potential's been there all the time. Because of all this, I know it's like a long video, this, about 21 minutes. Because of all their delay and sketchiness in people, and their deception and their lies, just to keep something up for their own value of keeping their, I don't know, their integrity intact, or some sort of, they know they got caught out. Yeah, it's just a stupid, silly thing, and that's just petty lies. Yeah, petty lies. And because they got caught out, they carried it on, dragged it on for a long time, indefinitely, because they're soulless. They must be. It must be. Not so. The universe said to me, "Look, they're nothing but a bunch of soulless fucking freaks. These people, they're not getting it. They're not seeing it. They're not realizing what you've done." So, here's a book that Danielle Steele wrote, 2007. Put your picture on the cover. Didn't tell you when you set up your business. Even credit you on the back with your full name, or your name and your business on the back, in order for you to get some dollar in the future from an out-of-court copyright claim settlement, which I'm going to do, which I've done pretty much. And these people don't like that. They don't like that. I'm talking about everyone now. I'm talking about how to get everyone to hate you. I'm talking about people around me. As soon as I get any feedback off Danielle Steele, they know it's over. And I'm talking about people around me, and I'm talking about people online. I'm talking about the dark occultists online. Those ones. And everyone else involved with any cult. They know it's over. Now, the people around me, again, never comprehended or considered it would get this far and deep. But it has. And they've done excellent jobs, like I said, brilliant jobs, at really showing what people are capable of doing when it comes to holding something back, apart from their own ego, of course. That's got the reins, their ego, yeah. So, when their ego doesn't exactly understand the reason why things are being done, it can get a bit fucking sketchy, which it did. And there's people in this story who are well intelligent enough, they're not too stupid to realise what they've done. That's the reason why it's stretched out this far. It's because they thought, or must have thought, that they were too intelligent for this to take place. What to take place? Belittling someone's achievements, whatever it may be in. Whatever. It doesn't have to be music. Anything. Totally disqualifying them. That's what. And constantly putting someone down. Because that's your nature. Remember again, this book. And the back cover. Your people out there are going to be pissed off. Yeah, I'm going to be really fucking going crazy, especially Wendy and all them lot. Wendy, Dexter, all the free zone Scientologists are going to be going fucking mental about this. And I find that funny, see. And I would have loved my friends to find it funny too. But unfortunately, because they kept up such committed ignorance to my plight, they have, and it's out of my hands now, I can't really do anything. They are going to suffer the consequences of it. And they are. There's no way they can get out, do anything to counter this. Please understand me, people. Please understand where this is coming from and where it has always been coming from and where it's gone and what people have done in order for it to go.